Just a second. Okay. So, what is the screen you're all seeing? Did I knock it off? 1 second, please. Okay, you're able to see my screen now?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see it.
Okay. This is a very, very simple, small song. And so let us sing this. Today, I would like to request every one of you to pray for my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Of course, we have so many others who are also impacted by Omicron and have difficulties. My Guru Maharaj had some difficulties last week. That's why I could not attend the class. We had to immediately bring him on emergency from Mayapur, headquarters of ISKCON, into Kolkata. And I was playing an important part in getting him moved from Kolkata to Chennai on an airlift, which happened on Sunday morning. He's now in Chennai and safe at this particular moment, should be discharged from the hospital, but it was important to move him into Chennai. And so let's continue with our prayers and prayers for every one of us on the forum. Every child in Hare Krishna know this song. Okay, so this is a very beautiful song. You can all learn and maybe you can sing back for a change today. Namaste Nada Shinhaya.
Namaste Narasingaya
Pralada Hladadayi. Hiranyakashi Vakshaha. Silatanka Nakala. I'm repeating the first paragraph again. Namaste Narashinhaya. Pralada Hladadayi. Hiranyakashi Vakshaha. Silatanka Nakala. Ito Nasimha Parato Nashinha. Yato Yato Yami Tato Nashinha. Mahena Shinha Hridayena Shinha. Narashinha Madim Sharanam Prapade. Ito Nashinha Parato Nashinha. Yato yato yami tato nasingha.
Yato yato yami tato narasimha.
Bahe nasingha, hudaye nasingha.
Bahe narasimha, narasimha.
Narasingha Madin Sharanam Prabhave.
Narasimha Sharanam Prapatye.
Tava Parakamala Valenakam Adbhuta Shingram. All of you. Tava Parakamala
Valenakam Adbhuta
Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanurangam. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanurangam. Keshavadita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare. Keshavadita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare. Jaya Nashinha Dev, Nashinha Dev, Nashinha Dev, Jaya Nashinha Dev, Nashinha Dev, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Narsingadeva Bhagavan ki jai. Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. The last verse, verse number 3, is from Jayadeva's Dashavatara Stotra. But this song is supposedly sung by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It has very nice, important meaning. Namaste Narsimhaya, Prahlada Lada Daine, Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha. You protected Prahlad, you killed Hiranyakashipu with Sila Tanka Nakhale, with your nakha, with your nails. Ito Narsingha, Parato Narsingha. Narsimha is here, Narsimha is everywhere. Yeto Yeto Yami Tato Narsingha. Wherever you see Narsimha is there. He's outside and inside. Bahir Narsingha, Hridaya Narsimha. And that Narsimha, to such a Narsimha, Narsimha Madim, Sharanam Prapadye. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam. In the beautiful form of Adbhuta Narsimha. Very wonderful form, unbelievable form that nobody would have ever imagined. Adbhuta. So the Lord came, Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam, and then he tore the Tanu, the body of Hiranyakashipu, with Nakam. And then Keshava Drita, to such wonderful Keshava, who came in the Narahari Rupa, in the form of a half man, half lion. Jai Jagadish Hare. If you see Ghanshyamji's display picture, he's got the Narsingha picture only. Thank you, Ghanshyamji. Let's move on to Hare Krishna. So, let us now move on to the topic of the day. So, before we start, I would, 1 second, open up the. And we just start with the opening prayers as usual. We are in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And let us just start off. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakatamahim Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Many people give wonderful lectures on the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita because this is called the Vishwarupa, and we have covered until verse number 31. So very broadly in section 1, verses 1 to 8, Arjuna was explained by Krishna in the previous chapters about how he is. Krishna told him, who am I? How can I be seen? He described various qualities, 84 odd qualities. But in spite of that, Arjuna wanted to see Krishna's form. So he requests Krishna to show him that all-pervading form, not just the form that Krishna is standing right in front of him. He wanted him to show the all-pervading form, all the qualities. Krishna said, I'm describing my qualities, a few of them that I can speak of. He said, show me the entire form. Arjuna asks, and then Krishna then first tells, this form is very difficult. It's got all the opulences, and it's got demigods, all the devatas, time. And so then he says, you need divine eyes to see it. Divyam dadami te chakshuhu. And then he says, look now at this particular form. And then he goes on to explain the form. That's the part that we saw. This is called the Vishwarupa form, before we go to the next section. Now in the next section, which is large, verses 9 to 31, Sanjaya, who is seeing it like in the form of a remote TV, live telecast. Sanjaya is having a live telecast by the mercy of Vyasa. And so whatever is happening right in the battlefield, Sanjaya is sitting in the palace. He's able to describe it to Dhritarashtra. And so Sanjaya is explaining. And so Sanjaya explains how Krishna is bestowing upon Arjuna the necessary vision. He gives him the eyes, special eyes to see. Like nowadays you go on a virtual tour, you need that special glass. You go to a 3D or a 4D show, you need that special glass. So Arjuna needed that special vision to be given by Krishna. And so Krishna gives him that special vision. And then Arjuna sees the universal form with its expansions divided into many, many thousands with dazzling ornaments, celestial garments, scents, garments. When you go for a 3D, 4D, 5D, sometimes you have the smell, sometimes you have rain effect, sometimes you have moving effect. So here Krishna gives it all to Arjuna. And so he is showing Arjuna everything. And then Krishna's universal form of opulences, Arjuna is now perplexed. His hair is standing on the end. He's bewildered and astonished, and he's praying to Krishna. Oh, my dear Krishna, I see all of them. I see all the sages. I see so many thousands of suns and so many serpents within your fiery form. You're all pervading everywhere. Wherever he turns, he is able to see the Lord. And you're the eternal personality of God. The sun and the moon are your eyes. Divi Surya. What does it say? The Surya Chandra. Even the Vishnu Sahasranama says that the eyes of the Lord are the sun and the moon. And he says your glory is unlimited. You are burning the universe by your radiance. And then Krishna shows the Kala Rupa form of time. And Arjuna says, seeing this fearful form and beholding the confusion of the entire universe, including the demigods, I too am frightened. All the devas, everybody is frightened. And all the soldiers on both sides are rushing to your death-like faces with the blazing mouths and awful teeth. Now what Arjuna is seeing is all the people who are going to die in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Watch, here the battle has not yet started. Arjuna is only being advised by Krishna ahead of the battle. And as Krishna is showing ahead to say, who are all the people who are going to die? Arjuna is seeing Bhishma, Drona, Duryodhana, all the Kauravas, including his own side, many people from his own side dying. He's seeing all of them getting into the mouths, and not just one mouth, into thousands of mouths and getting crushed into the teeth, going in between the holes of the teeth, etc. And he says, your blazing effulgence is devouring the whole world. What is your mission? Who are you, O Krishna? This is what he is surprised, and he leaves with that question when he sees that. Now let's move on to where we are today. We are coming on to verse 32 to 34, and then we may cover a few more verses. In this section, Krishna, in this particular section, Krishna says, Kalosmi loka shayakrit. I am Kala. Time I am. Become my instrument. You become my instrument. That's very important. We all have to understand that we are instruments in the hand of the Lord. Sometimes we think we are the doers ourselves, but actually Krishna is doing everything through us, through our Guru, through us. And so Krishna says, I am all devouring time. I am time. Because basically from Bhagavad Gita, we have to understand what is time, Kala. What is Jiva? That is, what is the individual soul? Who is the Lord? What is Prakriti? Yeah, there are 5 factors that needs to be understood from Bhagavad Gita. And one important thing is Kala. And so Krishna here says, I am time. So Krishna says, I am time. And Arjuna says, who are you? Please tell me who you are. In this verse, he is saying, who are you? What is your mission? And why is Arjuna asking this? Arjuna knows it very well, because he is a good friend of Krishna and he knows everything. But still, Arjuna is asking for all our benefit. So Krishna is explaining it again. So then Krishna says, the great warriors on both sides are already slain by my plan. You can be but an instrument. Arise and fight. Nimitta matram bhava sabya sakin. You are just an instrument in my hand. Get up and fight the battle. Sometimes, somebody else does the job and somebody else takes the credit. Or sometimes somebody is just showing as if he's doing something, but, like the actors in the cinema are, it looks like they are singing, but actually somebody else is singing behind. So Krishna says, you just get up and show that you're fighting, but actually the battle is already, being played by me. All the people who have to be killed have already been killed by me. Just do your role. So we have to understand that sometimes we are the instrument in the hands of the Lord. So this is the section that we are coming into today. So before we get on into this, let us get on. The most important, Krishna says, I am time. Time, how does Krishna come in the form of time? In the form of death. Everybody who is born has to face the situation of death. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmada pariharyate natvam sochitum arhasi. Therefore, there is nothing to worry, because anybody and everybody who is born has to die. Everybody's time will come, as sure as death, as we say. Kalosmi, I am, become my instrument. That's the main theme of this section 32, 33, 34. Now let's get to the Bhagavad Gita and read. And as usual, let us all kindly repeat after me the verses, and then we read the Bhagavad Gita purports by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, this is a very important aspect. So, many of us need to understand who is Krishna. Krishna is time. Death. It's not only, as Krishna says, he creates everything. Living, non-living, moving, non-moving. So, everything becomes kshina. Everything becomes subdued in course of time. Any building that is built after 50 years or 100 years, the buildings also get depleted. So Krishna has this all devouring time. Let's get on. So on to the verse. You can repeat after me. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Sri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravriddho.
Kalosmi
Lokakshayakritpravardho.
I'll break it into 2. Kalosmi lokakshaya.
Lokakshaya
Krit pravriddho.
Kritpravardho.
Lokan samahartum.
लोकान् समाहर्तुम्
इह प्रवृत्तः
बृहत्प्रवर्तः
ऋतेऽपि त्वां न
ऋतेऽपि त्वां न
भविष्यन्ति सर्वे
भविष्यन्ति सर्वे
ये अवस्थिताः
ये अवस्थिताः
प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः
प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality said, Bhagavan said, Kalaha, time, Asmi, I am, Loka, of the worlds, Kshayakrit, the destroyer, Pravruddha, great, Lokan, all people, Samahartum, in destroying, Iha, in this world, Pravruttaha, engaged, Rute, without, or except for, api, even, tvam, you, na, never, bhavishyanti, will be, sarve, all, ye, who, avastitaha, situated, prati anikeshu, on the opposite sides, yodhaha, the soldiers. The Supreme Personality of God had said, time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So he's telling him that he is coming in. Let's read the purport. The purport is not too very long. Somebody can take on to reading the purport.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maithili.
Although Arjuna knew that Krishna was his friend and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. Therefore, he asked further about the actual mission of this devastating force. It is written in the Vedas that the Supreme Truth destroys everything, even the Brahmanas, as stated in the Kathopanishad 1.2.25. Yasya brahmascha kshatram cha ube bhavata odhanaha mrityur yasyoba seshanam kayitta vedayatra saha. Eventually, all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme. This form of the Supreme Lord is the all-devouring giant, and here Krishna presents himself in that form of all-devouring time. Except for a few Pandavas, everyone who was present on the battlefield would be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of the fight, and he thought it was better not to fight. Then there would be no frustration. In reply, the Lord is saying that even if he did not fight, every one of them would be destroyed, for that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death could not be checked, even if he did not fight. In fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, it is important. What the Lord is showing us, everything. Now we say Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. The common understanding is that Brahma created, Vishnu maintains, and Shiva destroys. Right? But here Krishna says, I am all devouring death. And at various places he says, I am the source of Brahma. So I even created Brahma. Right? So he is the source of creation, maintenance, and destruction. And here he says, in the form of time, I come and I am finishing everything that needs to be finished. So time I am, Kala Rupa. And the mission is to destroy everything except the people, the Pandavas, he says. So what does Krishna says? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam, to protect the sadhus and the devotees. Vinashaya cha dushkrutam, to finish off and annihilate everybody. Now, Krishna does kill those who are not required to be on the planet, but everybody has to die. But people who die understand from Bhagavad Gita that yes, anybody who is born has to die. But living as we are, we need to understand who we are, how we are connected to Krishna, and how we can serve Krishna and understand that we are only a tool and an instrument in his hand. The time is very small. A firefly may live for a few hours. We think our life was long. We think we can live for 100 years, but we never know what is the time when it comes for everybody. But as long as we live, every day that we live, ayur harati vai pumsam, buddhyan nastan chayannasav. Our lifespan is depleting with every rising and the setting of the sun. We should realize that. And therefore, yetshanonitaha, therefore, tasyarte yetshanonitaha, therefore, without wasting a time, uttama shloka vartaya, we have to always try and see how we are connected to the Lord. Because otherwise people learn a hard lesson without knowing it, because people think we live forever. We are here to enjoy life forever. But the fact is that we are controlled, we are here temporarily, and we need to see how within that particular time we achieve a better destination by being connected in serving Krishna through the help of the Guru and the devotees, and how we serve Krishna, and through that process, how we transform ourselves from this material conditioned world to the spiritual world in serving Krishna. That's important. And Krishna says, even if Arjuna did not want to fight, they will all die anyway. Arjuna, whether you kill them or not, they're going to die. So why are you doing it? What's your worry? Just be an instrument, get the name and fame because you're a Kshatriya, that you have killed it. If you back out, you're not going to get anything. If they are anyway going to be killed, so what is your problem? That's why he's explaining the signs of the soul to Arjuna. When Arjuna says, I will not fight the battle, I will not kill. If I kill, I commit sin. Krishna says, don't worry. Everybody who is born has to die. They have to die anyway. But those who are performing adharma, they have to be killed. And it's your duty as a Kshatriya to kill. So pick up and kill. And here he says, I am already doing everything, Krishna, Arjuna. You just act as if you are doing, and you get the credit for what I'm doing. Then, in the Kathopanishad, the shloka says, all Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, everyone else are devoured by, like a meal by the supreme, all devouring giant. Let's go to the next verse right now. Okay? Verse number 13. Tasmat tvamuttishta
Tasmat
Tasmattvamuttishtha
yasho labhasva
Yasho labhasva
jitva shatrun
Jitva
Shatrun
bhukshva rajyam samardham
Vishwarajyam samriddham
mayaivaite nihataha
Mayavaite nihataha
purvameva
Purvameva
nimittamatram
Nimittam
avasavyasachin.
Bhavasavya
Very important verse, at least the last line, and to understand that we are all nimitta matra. Nimitta means namesake. We have to understand it. We think we are the doers in this world. Let's understand what Krishna says and what Srila Prabhupada's commentary is. Tasmat, therefore, tvam, you, uttishta, get up. Uttishta, uttishta, Govinda, uttishta, Garudadvaja, uttishta, Kamala, Kanta, Kartavyam, Devam, Ashritam. Okay, so every day this prayer is sung while waking up the Lord. So we all have to wake up. Jeev jago, jeev jago. So here he says, Tasmat tvamuttishta, yashaha, fame, labhasva, gain, get the gain. Jitva, conquering, shatrun, enemies. Bhukshva, enjoy, rajyam, kingdom. Samardham, flourishing. Maya, by me. Eva, certainly. Ete, all these. Nihataha, killed. Purvameva, by previous arrangement. Nimittamatram, just because. Bhava, become. Savyasachin, O Savyasachi. Therefore, get up. Prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. And you, O Sabyasachi, can be an instrument in the fight. So this is a very, very beautiful verse. Let's read the purport. Somebody can offer to read it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Savyasachin referred to one who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. Thus, Arjuna is addressed as an expert warrior capable of delivering arrows to kill his enemies. Just become an instrument, nimitta matram. This world is also very significant. The whole world is moving according to the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Foolish persons who do not have sufficient knowledge think that nature is moving without a plan and all manifestations are but accidental formations. There are many so-called scientists who suggest that perhaps it was like this or maybe like that. But there is no question of perhaps and maybe. There is a specific plan being carried out in this material world. What is this plan? This cosmic manifestation is a chance for the conditioned soul to go back to Godhead, back to home. As long as they have the domineering mentality, which makes them try to lord it over material nature, they are conditioned. But
Pause.
anyone...
This is
Yes.
just pause here. This is a very
Yes.
important statement. Srila Prabhupada will keep repeating it. As long as they have a domineering mentality which makes them try to lord it over material nature, they are conditioned. So individuals, we want to boss over everything. We want to control everything. We want to take control of nature. We want to take control of animals. We want to take control of all other human beings, cheat them, get their money, use them to serve us. So we want to be domineering mentality. But the Lord is the predominating force. We are all his servants. Jivera Swarupahoy, Nityera Krishnadas. As long as you think you are the boss, you are conditioned. As long as you think you are the servant of Krishna, then you are coming the way of Krishna and then you become a devotee. Please continue.
But anyone who can understand the plan of the Supreme Lord and cultivate Krishna consciousness is most intelligent. The creation and destruction of the cosmic manifestation are under the superior guidance of Lord. Thus, the battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of God. Arjuna was refusing to fight, but he was told that he should fight in accordance with the desire of the Supreme Lord. Then he would be happy. If one is in full Krishna consciousness and his life is devoted to the Lord's transcendental service, he is perfect. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, just going through the translation again, Krishna says, Uttishta, Tasmatvam Uttishta. So, get up and Yasholabhasva. Get Yash, get the fame and the gain. What is the gain? By conquering all the enemies, Bhukshva, you are able to enjoy the Rajyam Samardham with all Samardhi, flourishing Rajyam. But Maya Eva Ete Nihataha, but saying they are already put to death by my arrangement. They are going to die. They have already died, as you've seen as a trailer, everybody getting into my mouth. So all you need to do is just, hey, Sabyasachi. Sabyasachi refers to a person who is so dexterous that he can shoot with both his left and right hand. You know, some of us are left-handers and some of us are right-handers. We can only do something. I don't know how many of us can do it in both. I saw something on TV today as to how somebody in Africa is so wonderful that with both his hands, he's doing a painting, and with both his legs, simultaneously, he's doing 4 paintings. Just imagine. So Arjuna was so specialist as a fighter.
हाँ टीटू
So, one second.
क्या हो रहा है?
I'll just a second.
अच्छा, I've also taken.
Yeah, sorry, I have muted it. So Arjuna was such a special fighter. So he's saying, therefore, Krishna is encouraging Arjuna now to use all his skills and fight without pride, because Purvameva, by previous arrangement, And not because of your skills. Don't think, hey, Arjuna, by your skills, you are going to fight. Huh? All these people are as good as dead. Krishna has already taken them away. Arjuna, you just like show hit like an arrow. They are already finished. Even though the opposition is already dead. He wishes Arjuna to fight as his instruments. Now, actually, Arjuna realizes it. At a particular stage, Srimad Bhagavatam says, then it was time for the Lord. The Lord came and the Lord left on his own desire at a particular time. When the Lord left the earth, going back to Swadhama, Krishna Swadhama Upagate, at that time Krishna told, please, he told Arjuna, hey Arjuna, please take all my wives and take them to this place and protect them. So Arjuna is taking all the wives of Krishna and going. And Arjuna is the most powerful man. He has won the entire war. And he is victorious over the whole world. And Arjuna, nobody can come in front of him to fight. Now Arjuna is trying to fight and protect. There are some thieves who have attacked, dacoits who attacked the entourage of Arjuna and all these wives of Krishna who are being taken from one place to another. And what happens there is Arjuna is trying to fight, and very easily Arjuna is overpowered by the dacoits, common dacoits, roadside dacoits, overpowered Arjuna. Right? Then Arjuna thought, oh, all the strength that I had was also given by Krishna. I thought always it is mine. So now many of us have been given various responsibilities by Krishna in life, to be a father, a mother, in terms of relationship. We have also been given some money or business or employment and position, name, fame. All this Krishna gives for a particular purpose. We all have to understand that we are merely a nimitta matra. We are just the cause, but the actual doer is Krishna. Krishna is the real doer, but we are just fronting him. It's like, in a bank when you go and you are taking from the cashier 10 lakh rupees. It's not the cashier who is giving the money, right? You have deposited in the bank by your own past karma, and the bank manager is giving it, but through the cashier. So we are just like that, just a teller, just a cashier. We are just an instrument in the repertory of the Lord. That is what we have to understand very beautifully from this shloka. So says here, nimitta matram. Krishna tells Arjuna, become nimitta matra. And Arjuna's motivation, he fulfills Lord's desire by fighting. And the Lord's plan is very specific in the material world. The sign of intelligence for all of us is to understand that the whole world is moving under the plan of the Lord. And so the fool's mentality is no plan behind the creation. They think, creation comes just like that. God knows what. Prakriti. They don't know who has created what, but they only want to enjoy everything that is there. Or they think it's a Big Bang, or the Darwin's theory of evolution. So that's how creation is. There's nothing. God is removed from creation. But they can't explain Omicron, they can't explain coronavirus, they can't explain eclipses, they can't explain the reason why sun is constantly coming every day and the moon comes every day. But they think it is all just an accidental arrangement. By accident, everything is set in perfectly into shape. You cannot bring all the cement and bricks and glass and wood and blast it and the house gets built. No, there's a perfect arrangement for everything that is there, right? So the Lord has created everything to perfection, but fools do not understand that. So scientists sometimes say perhaps or maybe some sources there. There's a nice story that says, I think it was I don't know who it is, one of the famous scientists. And that famous scientist one day, when he used to be talk to people about God, he was a devotee. But all the scientists in the name of science never recognized the Lord's hand in creation. So one day he invited all of them home, and he made a very beautiful, full-fledged, functional model of the world. And he made the earth and the sun and everything is moving and rotating very nicely, so beautifully. So everybody who came home, they appreciated it so much. And he said, who did it? He said, it just came like that. No, who did it? Somebody should have done it, right? No, it just came like that. So that's how people think. Scientists think everything just appeared just like that. Okay, so we need to be very careful about this sort of mentality in people, the scientists, modern vision. But what is the Lord's plan? Everything, the purpose of cosmic manifestation. And Krishna gives us this chance to go back home, back to Godhead. We are born because of our past karmas. And in this life, we have to serve Krishna so that we are able to move forward in life and achieve perfection, going back home, back to Godhead. So that's the purpose of creation. That's the purpose of our coming back. And Krishna creates and Krishna destroys, and everything is under his law. And the signs of intelligent person cultivates Krishna bhakti and understands this plan of the Lord. So let's get to the next verse number 34. At any time you have any comments, questions, don't hesitate. Stop me, we can talk. Okay, let's go on to next verse. Dronam cha bhishmam cha jayadratam cha
Dronam cha bhishmam cha
Jayadratam
jayadratam
cha
karnam tathanyan apiyodhaviran
karnam
Tanyan
tatanyanapiyoddhavira
Apiyodhaviran
maya hatam stvam jahima vyatishtha
Maya
Maya
hata swatam
tvam
jahima
jahimam
vyashtista
yadishta
yuddhasva jetasi rane sapatnan.
yasva
yudhyasva
jetasi rane
rane
sapatnan.
Dronam cha, also Drona. Bhishmam cha, also Bhishma. Jayadratam cha, also Jayadrata. Karnam, Karna. Tatha, also. Anyan, others. Api, certainly. Yodhaviran, all the great warriors. Maya, by me. Hathan, already killed. Tvam, you. Jahi, destroy. Ma, do not. Vyatishtaha, be disturbed. Yuddhasva, just fight. Jetasi, you will conquer. Rane, in the field. Ranabhumi. Sapatnan, enemies. Translation. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Purport, please. Somebody can read it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Please go ahead.
Every plan is made for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but He's so kind and merciful to His devotees that He wants to give the credit to His devotees who carry out His plan according to His desire. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of a spiritual master. The plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by His mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as His plans. One should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle for existence.
So this is very, very important. We all in this world think we are the doers. Even though somebody else has done it, we take credit for somebody else doing it. Very often we see in the office that the person who is the doer is doing so wonderful things, but his namesake boss will take full credit and he will not even pass on the credit to the doer. Isn't it? We see this in the material world. And this is very, very representative of many of the Goras in this part of the world too. You know, the doers are basically our people, but the only thing is they don't know how to present it and tom-tom to say that they've done it. But the Goras speak well and they take credit for everybody else who does it. So we have an attitude of taking credit for what even others do, let alone what I'm doing. But even if I'm doing something, who has given me that intelligence and that capability? Who has given that? Do we ever thank our parents for who we are in this world today? Do we thank our teachers, our masters, spiritual masters, our guides? No, we don't do it. Something happens good, I do it. Something is bad, then we blame all the others, right? That's our mentality. We need to change. So Krishna here is saying, every plan is already made. Everybody, whatever needs to be done is already done. You just play your role in the normal course. And by doing that, you are not going to don't be disturbed by it. You are not going to get any sinful reactions or whatever. I've already done it. These people are already gone. They are finished. So don't worry at all about it. Please take up and fight. Don't ask me any more questions, Arjuna. Uttishta, fight. Don't ask me any more questions. Should I fight? Should I not fight? Earlier in the second chapter, Arjuna expressed his uncertainty as to who will win the battle. Krishna here says, Jetasi, you will conquer. Even before the battle starts, Krishna says, you will conquer. And then, certainly, he's telling that you will be victorious. He also tells 3 names of very important warriors. He talks of Jayadratha, and then he talks about Drona, Bhishma, Karna, which already is mentioned in verse 26. And although he is not as powerful as the others, Jayadratha was given a boon by Lord Shiva to be able to stop the Pandavas once. Because Arjuna knows this, he's concerned about Jayadratha. Krishna assures Arjuna that his concern is unwarranted. Don't worry about Jayadratha also. Even he will be finished. Next, Sanjaya introduces the change of speakers. In the next verse onwards, there are different view. Let us come to that. So in 34, Krishna says, know my plan. Krishna says, I desire the battle. You perform your duty, do not be disturbed. Jetasi, you'll be victorious. Get the credit of being my instrument. And Krishna's mercy and kindness is every plan is made by God. In a day-to-day life, you think about it. We plan, something else happens. Sometimes jokingly, me and my wife are talking something and I tell her that I'm going to do this. And I'll call somebody. She says, don't call him now. I say, no, I want to call him. I call and the person doesn't lift the call. My wife says, see, who is controlling? Whose plan is correct? So this happens in everyone's life. So it's, many times my tongue is supposed to be black tongue. Whatever I say is supposed to be truthful according to the novel one. But, many times I'm superseded and my wife says, don't do it. Don't go there. And I try my effort, still it happens. But the fact is, we think we are doing the effort. It's not just me, my wife, whatever I'm saying. We think we are doing, but the Lord is doing everything for us. We don't recognize. Not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. So the Lord does everything for us, and every day to day, what we eat, how we sleep well or not, how much of money we get, there is a quota for everything. We get according to our quota. All we need to understand is what the Lord gives us is not mine, it belongs to the Lord. Yes, the Lord is telling Arjuna, you enjoy the samriddham, you enjoy, be flourished, win the battle and enjoy. So the Lord has given us an opportunity to enjoy also. It is important. Enjoyment is an important part of life. We should enjoy. So let's not be negative about enjoyment. But yes, we can enjoy nice Krishna prasadam. You like to eat food, make nice prasadam, nice varieties, offer it as bhoga to Krishna and enjoy. You like to dance, call all the devotees, sing nice bhajans and dance. You like to speak, call all your friends and relatives and speak about Krishna. So there are various things. Every activity that you enjoy in life, you can enjoy. Now you want to watch some nice music on TV, please go to Kirtan Oasis page. And every day we are watching 1-2 hours of the wonderful kirtans that we had in the first week of December. Just amazing. We play it again and again. Some of those few Instagram clippings have gone more than 1.5 million views. Kirtan Rasa, Kirtan Oasis, what is there on the YouTube. I'll send you a link again. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Amazing kirtans. We're just amazed and mesmerized by watching that Kirtan Rasa every day. And we are going to improve those and put it by every singer. We're going to put that also. But you want to listen to music, go there, listen to music. Everything, do it in the thoughts of the Lord. It's very, very important. We need to understand this. And how to know Krishna's plan? It's only possible by Lord's mercy. We can't know Krishna's plan also. What's Krishna's plan for me? You can go to an astrologer and ask him what can happen. He can say this may happen, that may happen. Be careful. This time is good. The time is not good, but he can't tell you exactly what's going to happen to you. So the plan of the devotees are as good as his plans. So what it means here is, sometimes the devotee says, okay, let me build a temple for him. And Krishna says, wonderful, tathastu. They say, you think negative, you get negative results. You think positive, Krishna makes it happen. So here the devotees think good of you, it will happen. Thus, act in Krishna consciousness to know his plan through the medium of the spiritual master. The guru is a via media. Sometimes the guru tells, do this, and this will be good for your life. Many times I've gone to my Guru Maharaj and I've told him I'm getting an offer in India, a good offer. Can I go? He says, no, stick in Dubai. Stay here. I want you to serve Dubai, and build the congregation. Prachar, do prachar here. Many times he says that. He's told me that many, many times. So we all have to understand that the Guru has a plan for us. So the Guru is an important medium for all of us to go, talk, and take. And sometimes not just the Gurus. The Guru comes not just an initiating Guru, comes as a Siksha Guru, Marga Pradakshaka Guru. Sometimes when you talk to devotees and you're confused about your plan, they come with a neutral view. So Srila Prabhupada always signs it as your ever well-wisher. And that's the same for all the Vaishnavas. What do the Vaishnavas call? Para dukkha dukhi. They are unhappy when they see others in pain. But they are most happy when you are very happy in Krishna consciousness. But in the common competitive world, if your competitor sees you in pain, you're not able to fulfill your bank responsibilities, he's very happy. Oh, I'm waiting for that guy to get bankrupt. When is this airline going to get bankrupt? When is this guy going to lose his money and his business? So that's very common. But a devotee doesn't think like that. He thinks of good for everybody, right? So Arjuna is also thinking of good for even his own enemies. He doesn't want to kill them. You understand? So it is very important that we all understand this aspect, that the Vaishnavas and the spiritual master is always our well-wisher, and therefore we have to try and follow the path of what? Mahajana yenagata sumpantaha. Whatever the Mahajanas say, we should try to follow. So that is very important. Let's move to maybe one or two shlokas if required, or we can have a discussion around the topic. And let me just read at least the summary of section D. And I think that's almost the last section in this particular chapter. And here he says, Arjuna is now trembling and praying. All become attached to you upon hearing your name. But the demons flee. They should offer homage because you are the cause of all causes. Arjuna then begs forgiveness for his offenses. Please excuse my offenses. When out of madness or love, I have addressed you as Ho Yadava, Hey Krishna, hey, but as a friend without knowing your glories. No one can be equal to or one with you. Tolerate my wrongs as a father tolerates his wrongs of his son. And Arjuna fearfully requests Krishna to again reveal his two-armed form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maybe we'll cover a few shlokas. If any of you have some questions, we pause. Otherwise, we go ahead with a few more shlokas. Otherwise, 35 to 46 is pretty long. So if you want, we'll cover 35 to 37 at this particular moment and then pause after that. Yeah? Is that okay? Or if anybody has any comments, questions, we can engage and then start. How did you like this particular part of lesson? Nimitta matram, that we are just instruments in the hand of the Lord and we have to serve the Lord. Somebody can speak about your experience? Please do.
Hare Krishna.
Comments?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
This particular chapter is especially these verses. I have experienced a lot in my life. So many times, like I have planned to take my dad back to India. Want to settle back in India, Chennai. Take care of him there, but that never happened because the Lord had a different plan. The Lord wanted me to be here, take care of my father here. He wanted me to work here. And I'm still continuing to work here. Every time I think of a plan, as you said, how it happens with your wife, every time I think of a plan, it never happens. It's me who thinking this is way it should happen, but it never happens. Lord has a different plan and he makes that happen. I've experienced this in my life a lot of times, especially in the last 2 years.
So the intelligence is to understand that if we desire something but it doesn't happen, don't
Yes.
get disillusioned. Oh,
Yes.
I prayed for it. And let us not pray that this has to happen. Let us just pray because Krishna, you know what is best for me. I am just a simple soul surrendered unto you. And I want to do things. You take care of me. Rakshishyati iti vishwaso. Have that faith that Krishna will protect. But that doesn't mean you should not have any ambitions, career ambitions. You should work towards it. But the final result of it is in the hands of Krishna.
I think Prabhuji, ultimate, he is a doer. We are not even instrument. I'll say 100% credit is he's the one. This is my thinking. Maybe I'm wrong. People, they say you are the instrument. I say even we are not even instrument. This is my thinking. Is off the record. Ultimate,
True. We are only actors.
ultimate. He's the
We are
one.
only actors.
Ultimate, he's the one. The way Krishna eat prasadam without any instrument. So I feel he do not need any instrument. He's the ultimate. He's the ultimate. This is my way of thinking.
No, wonderful, for sure. Because we are just a namesake instrument, and the capacity for us as instrument is also given by Krishna, who gave the capacity to Arjuna in that example that I gave. So even that is given by Krishna. Krishna is happy to see us being glorified. You know, like a father, he may do something, but when his son does something small, he will say, "Oh, my son did this," and he's so happy to glorify somebody else who's doing, right?
No, but
Krishna
when
is like that.
glorify happens, the prideness comes. That is also a bad thing. So I feel, my feeling is that he's the ultimate. He's the ultimate. He can do any wonder without any instrument.
True. The other point here is sometimes people say, "Oh, why did Krishna have to come all the way to protect the devotees and to kill the miscreants?" There was no need for him to come. He comes only because he wants us to understand and enjoy all these wonderful stories of the leelas that he performs. That's the only purpose why he comes. So we need to understand that particular point too. Otherwise, sitting where he is, the remote control button, he can do everything in this world. There's no need for him to do anything.
That is correct. That is correct. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I just want to extend your point, what you have told, why Krishna comes just to perform the Leelas. Because I read it in Bhagavad Gita, somewhere in the purport, with Prabhupada mentioned. He just comes and performs the Leelas because just to attract us, because we are his children. Somehow we just want to lord it over, so we came here. So just like a father, if children want to go somewhere and they are so stubborn, we are stubborn, Prabhu. So that's the reason. So he has granted us, okay, you go. So just to come back to him, something attraction, like father gives other things to show some attraction so that the child comes back to him. Just like that, by his leelas, Krishna is attracting us, and we are so mudas that we are not going towards him.
Balbir?
So at least seeing that leelas, we'll get attracted towards our father and we go back home to Godhead, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You're right. Thank you. Any other quick comments?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Pramna Priyani.
Prabhu, I don't know, reading Bhagavad Gita, attending so many lectures, everything, but at the first sign of trouble, or, if we hear that a loved one is not well, then mind goes into so much anxiety. Sometimes I feel like, even if I read so much, what's the effect on me at that point in time? I'm not able to see whether there's, it's very confusing,
True. So it is not easy. We need
okay,
to,
which means is my sadhana
practicing.
not okay? I don't know, Prabhu.
No, I think we will have these sort of thoughts, but we need to bring it back and have that faith, and we have to try. Our mind is also diverted here and there. We need to, by abhyasa, bring it back into shape and try and do it. Sometimes there's some difficulty in our life. We say, I'm doing so much. Why is Krishna not doing this for me? Not doing that for me? Sometimes even devotees have that sort of an opinion. Okay? So, but over course of time, that's where satsang is always required. When we are perplexed in certain situations, we need to engage, talk to our siksha gurus, our diksha guru, and be guided upon them, take their advice and move on.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. I mean, that faith has never wavered because that's the only thing that keeps us going during those difficult times. But when we hear that, when we read, it's very theoretical, I feel. When it comes to practical application, I feel it's just not there for me.
No, but as we read and read, gradually we will be able to start practicing. Everything you can't practice in one day. But as soon as you pick up these knowledge and you're continuing to read and practice, slowly as you mature, all these things will fit into place. There's a time for everything, so do not worry about that.
Okay.
But
Thank
that feeling to say that I'm not doing sufficiently, I don't have sufficient faith, I don't have sufficient bhakti, is a good feeling. It's better to feel like this rather than feel, oh, I'm a great devotee and I have all the faith.
Thank you.
Very true, sir. Very true. Very true.
Any other comments? Manoj, Nalin, Radhika ji, Shruti, anybody, any comments? Maithili ji, any comments? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead. Sorry, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I think when we hear the Bhagavad Gita, and especially I remember that purport where Krishna is describing how the world is. It is an inverted tree, and those branches where you are stuck. And as you try to reach higher, yes, it becomes dense, and that's where once you start, and the name is what takes you out and goes you out of that Maya, which drives the material world. We understand that, but I think the impact, and I agree what Priyaji was saying, we understand that, but I think now, at least for me, I start having that faith little bit that, okay, whatever happens, it happens through his desire, through his Maya, through his Leela. What you can do is you just somewhere that faith has to come in all of us a little bit. I somehow started having this faith that, okay, when you hear something, and there has been, everybody has seen multiple incidences in last couple of years. You start believing. Somewhere there is a pain, but then you start believing that, okay, it is part of his larger Leela, and you have to believe, you have to pray. What is the journey, that last mile where that belief merge with the acceptance is what probably is still the journey which we have to achieve.
Yes, but there is no need for us to keep thinking, when will I measure and when will I gain that acceptance and when will I gain that, when will I achieve that? Let's just continue to do it. Practice makes perfect. If we continue to do it, Krishna, because dadami buddhi yogam tam, Krishna says, I give you the intelligence by which you come back to me. So let us not think that we can assess our own progress and now I have reached this level of perfection and that level of perfection and that level of bhakti. We may not be able to assess it ourselves, but as we practice, we will start to experience. And if you see every one of our journey, gradually we start from no bhakti, sometimes very, very simple ritualistic practices, to gradually understanding some Bhagavad Gita shlokas, to having that faith that Krishna is there, to having the faith that Krishna's name is important, and to say that, oh, I'm attracted to Krishna and his leelas, and let me do it. And when I do it, it gives me some peace of mind. It may not give bhakti, it may not give anything else. It gives me peace of mind to attend the class. It gives me a nice camaraderie to be there with these nice devotees who are all around here. So that sort of feeling comes, and as we are there, continuing gradually and gradually, it will start maturing. So we don't need to understand exactly where I am, but we just continue at the journey. And in this journey, Krishna says, Neha vikramana shosti pratyavayavana vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpamapyasya, even a very small endeavor in Krishna consciousness will take us from great dangers. But as we keep making small endeavors, and the important thing is continuous endeavors, like a dhara, it says. What does the dhara means? Just not do it once and then forget about it, but every day chanting, every day reading, every day some satsanga, every day thinking about these truths, gradually, they will start maturing. And that is Krishna Bhakti. That is all. We can't assess for ourselves where we are. Nobody is going to give you an examination answer paper saying you have got 80 out of 100, 90 out of 100.
Oh, absolutely, Prabhuji. I think I don't think this can be measured. This only can be felt. You know,
Yeah.
you and even the feeling. Of course, you can't measure it. Okay, I'm feeling great or I'm not. It's just that you just, you know, there is something. There are a couple of incidences happened where I can sense it that okay, you know, there is a little bit more acceptance into that direction. Definitely
True.
not measurable. Definitely not measurable.
Maturity of dealing with circumstances and situations definitely will come about. And just, you know, in most of the people that I see here are regularly coming. That shows an interest because these are dry subjects. Okay, compared to a movie or compared to something else, you know, it shows how much faith you have. Therefore, as you have that faith, as you start putting it, Krishna says, ye yatamam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajami. As much faith as you have, I will also feed that particular faith. So we just continue the journey, and I'm sure gradually we will start moving and progressing. That's a very important aspect.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Manoj. Any other comments, questions? I'm not going into any other shloka today. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I'm still trying to absorb what you shared and what other members are sharing. And still, Prabhuji, I am in dilemma. I don't know. I still do not feel that connect. I love Krishna, but worshipping him, I don't know. But the way Nalin and Shruti feel about Krishna, I do not feel that way. I do not know why. Probably I have lot many things. I have lot many distractions in my life. That is why I'm not focused. I have no idea. So though Nalin has told me many a times that just surrender yourself and just take the way things are coming to you. But then still I'm standing at the threshold wherein still I am wondering whether I'm at the right place or not. Because it seems that yet that spiritual connect is still, I do not feel that spiritual connect. So this is the confession that I wanted to make today in front of you. So probably you can guide me or just let me know that how I can, what practices I can get into so that at least I can start practicing something to in believing and worshipping Krishna.
Thank you, Radhika ji. I think it's a very important point that the connect doesn't come always. It cannot come by just merely somebody else telling it. It has to come by experiencing it. But this spiritual journey is a package deal. You go to the doctor saying you have a problem. The doctor says, yes, do these tests, but come back to me, have these medicines, do this physiotherapy, eat this, do this. So there's a package deal when it comes to spirituality. If you want to get that, the impact of this, it is a package deal. And what is that sort of a package deal? Generally, I'll just tell you what that particular package deal is. But depending on the the capacity of each one of you, you can see which ones you may want to out of this list, which ones you may want to slightly start now, which ones you may want to slightly look at gradually over a period. It can be days, it can be months, it can be years. Some people go at a super speed. Some people take it very, very slow. Some people, for many, it can go janma after janma. But what are the basic sadhana, as we say, that helps us to come to an understanding way better? One, as we say, is chanting the names of the Lord is very, very important. So gradually accepting to chant the name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Initially, when you start chanting, it seems mechanical. But as you chant, as you make it a discipline to chant, it becomes second nature. You start chanting. The more you chant, the more the attraction to chanting is there. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada generally gives one particular example here. If somebody is jaundiced, right, then what has to happen? He needs to eat sweet things. Huh? candy. And when he's first putting candy into his mouth and he is jaundiced, candy tastes so bitter for him. Candy tastes bitter. But the more and more he tries and sucks and they give him candy, he tries and takes it again and again and again. Slowly the taste develops. So the candy here for all of us is the name of the Lord. And chanting the name is a very, very important ingredient in the sadhana. So every one of us to pick up to some level of chanting. You can say, fine, I'll spend, if you have Japamala, great. You can chant, you start with 1 round, gradually develop to 2 rounds, whatever. Yeah, you can pick up at your own pace what you do. Sometimes you're driving, you're traveling, or you're free, or you're in nature, you're walking, start chanting. The best time to chant is early in the morning when the mind is not disturbed. The day is divided into various times. The morning time is sattva, very sober, and you will feel very nice. But as the day develops, as sun brings about, as your office hours start, you become passionate. And as it comes to night, it becomes tamasic, in the mode of ignorance, lazy, sleepy. Okay? So early morning times, Brahma Muhurta, as they say, is the best time for chanting. Even if you're not able to wake up at 4:30 and chant, it's okay. Chant early before you go to office, at least 1 round, 2 round. So chanting is an important ingredient. The other ingredient we say is, as much as possible, avoid foods that are non-vegetarian if we can, and eat only those that are offered to Krishna, Naivedya. So when you are eating something which is Krishna Prasad, Krishna again works from inside. When you are chanting, the entire chanting is not just the hands, the chanting is the mouth, the tongue, your entire consciousness gets, and your ears, you're able to hear what the chant is. So chanting immerses you in various ways. And then hearing is a very, very important concept. And hearing every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevya, hearing every day, let it be 10 minutes, hear for 10 minutes. And now that all of you are premis of Bhagavad Gita, read a few verses from the Bhagavad Gita. So reading, hearing, chanting, Krishna Prasadam, and some association. Now, for you, Radhika ji, you have a family, and many of you in the family are in the forum. So it's very good that sometimes you can talk to each other, read for each other, discuss with like-minded people, and gradually taste picks up by association. So it would not come very quickly. For different people, it comes at different levels. Some people are born with that tendency that they are very easily becoming very, very devotional. For some people, they are more logical. They need to see it. The different people at different times, Krishna touches in different ways. So from that particular angle, we can't, we can't say you do exactly this and within this time you get it. But we practice, we will get to where we are. Yeah, that's my broad thought. So the package is not just once a week you come along, but every day bring in and inject a little bit more of chanting, reading, eating Krishna Prasadam, offering something to Krishna and eating that. So once you start doing it, it becomes a package deal that helps us, like how the doctor is telling you do all this for you to get the medicine properly, for you to have the taste of Krishna. When you do all of this together, it comes in very, very well. Thank you. But
Hare
continue,
Krishna,
Jeff.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for enriching guidance. I will start with chanting today itself. Before going to bed, I am going to practice. I promise you that. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Yeah. If you don't have a Japamala, I'm sure Nalin can courier it to you, or you can procure it from the nearest temple. Please do, but definitely do that. And whenever you find time, please get on to chanting, and we can one session. Maybe I'll just get on the importance of chanting, how to chant, why to chant. We will do it after finishing the 11th chapter. We'll possibly have one session on chanting. We'll also practice chanting for a few rounds on our session. I think that will be useful to bring that habit into everybody. Thank you. Anybody else? We have the next 1-2 minutes to wind. If you have any comments, I'm ready. I can stay. No problem.
Just want to add one small, very short story, my self experience. Not that long ago in June, you shared this, you explained the Shalok 26, chapter 9, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. So the other day I realized that, the supreme God can be won by only offering maybe tulsi or water, which is easily accessible everywhere around the planet. I won't say I started doing it, but it was just an encouragement from you and the enlightenment that I started doing it every morning before going to work, because it will just take literally 10 seconds to do the process. And at least we can do it for 10 seconds. It's just not a big deal to do it. Now, what I'm trying to imply is that as soon as we get into the path of spirituality, Krishna talks to you in different ways. Now, now in my terrace, I see I had just one plant of tulsi. Now we have 3 plants of tulsi. Now it could be very scientifically be proven that it was germination, and the another plant was just got erected by the natural process. But I find it to be the blessing of Krishna, that he says that you just took one step towards me. I would give you all the chance and medium to come to me every day. So it's all about state of mind, because Krishna has been there with me, with us, where even we know it or we don't know it. But it's just that when you start walking on this path of spirituality, you believe that he is responding to you in every possible way, very small things. And I think we, after getting onto this path, a person like me and everybody here gets into that positive zone and thinks very, very shant, with shant chit and shant man, you feel very powerful. So thank you again, Prabhuji. We can't thank you enough for, I would say, changing our lives. And all that 3 days of experience, Kirtan Rasa in December, it was one of the most amazing experiences I have had. And obviously, I'm following people on Instagram, and I always show it to my wife. See, I was right there. It was such a beautiful time. And she said that she's lucky enough to be there. My son Ram was lucky enough to get the blessings of Krishna. So, and mother also. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this beautiful interaction. And we love to be with you for our living lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nalini. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Last
Prabhuji.
call, anybody? Otherwise, we can close. Thank you. Okay, Hare Krishna. Let me just chant the closing prayers. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantraha Tasya Namani Yani, Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva, Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhusya Saka Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva, Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Hare Paramatmane, Pranata Klesha Nashaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha, Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Katyayani Mahamayi Mahayogin Nidishwari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patimme Kurute Namaha Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Dasoham Krishna Tabasmi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you all. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Namaskar. See you next week. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And
Thank
I
you,
will
Prabhuji.
post the
Hare
recording
Krishna.
also to all of you today.
Thank you.
I will also send you all a link about Kirtan Rasa, though we are going to break it by singers. I'll send it to you. If you have not already seen it, you can connect on. Thank you. Anybody else? Any comments? Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.